This video is a full guide about speed ramping, Twixtor style retiming and reverse time. And on top of that, I will give you a completely free preset so you can easily create edits like this in DaVinci Resolve.
It has fallen off that day.
Alright, so all these effects are about time, but what exactly is time in a video and how can we influence it? When we create a new project, the first thing we need to decide is the frame rate of our timeline. Here you can see it's set to 24 frames per second. That means every second you are seeing 24 individual images. The more images per second, the smoother the video looks. So a beginner might think, I want my edit to be 60 FPS, so I will just choose 60 FPS. But let's see what happens when we import clips from a scene pack directly into a 60 FPS timeline. If I step through frame by frame, you can see that many frames are identical, so this isn't real 60 FPS, it's just duplicated frames. If we go to the media page, we can see that the footage is actually 23.976 FPS. If you want to scale that up to 60 FPS, you would need about 2.5 times as many frames. And since there's no such thing as half of a frame, Resolve alternates between duplicating 2 and 3 frames. So how do we convert 23.9 FPS into true 60 FPS? There are a couple of ways. In the inspector, under retiming and scaling, you can set the retime process to optical flow. Now DaVinci actually generates new frames, so each frame becomes slightly different. If you want even better results, you can choose AI speed warp, either fast or better. But here's the big problem: cuts. If your footage has hard cuts, like in an intro sequence for example, you will often see weird warping artifacts for a few frames around the cut. So how do we fix that? Well, there's actually an easy trick I got from my bro Escape. Don't do any cuts in the intro scene yet. Go to timeline and choose detect scene cuts. Now DaVinci will find the hidden cuts for you, and most importantly, it will understand that these cuts are individual scenes, and when you now enable optical flow and speed warp, there won't be any weird mixed frames. There's also a second method I used to use. I would finish my raw edit in 23.9 FPS, render it out and then import it into Topaz AI. Not only to enhance the quality, but also to upscale it to 60 FPS. The downside is that you can still get weird warping artifacts at cuts, so in my opinion the first method is better. Now let's go back to our newly created 60 FPS clips with optical flow and speed warp applied. If you do have Topaz AI, you can render your raw 60f edit and enhance the quality, and you don't need to change the frame rate again. After exporting, just replace your clips with the enhanced versions and make sure to match the cut points before deleting the old ones. If you don't have Topaz, that's totally fine. Just create a new compound clip for each clip. That way, optical flow and speed warp are basically baked in. Alright, so now you should have a solid understanding of FPS and how to properly upscale footage. Let's move on to speed ramping or Twixtor style retiming. A lot of edits use this effect where the clip speed up at the beginning and end and slows down in the middle. To do this, place an adjustment clip over your footage. Right click and open it in the Fusion page. In Fusion, you will need two nodes, optical flow and time stretcher. Connect them like this, and it's important that optical flow comes before the time stretcher. In the time stretcher node, set it to flow and check all the boxes. For the source time, you need to keyframe 2 points, frame 0 and the last frame. At frame 0, set the value to 0, and at the last frame, set the value to the last frame number of your composition. Now open the spline panel and create a slight S-curve. Don't make it too sharp or you might create freeze frames, just keep it subtle. And technically, you would have to do this for every single clip. Or you just use my free retiming preset, which does all this automatically. Just drag the preset onto an adjustment clip. You can change the overall speed or tweak the curve, but honestly, I recommend sticking with the default settings. This is my newest version, which combines the Twixtor and reverse time preset. Under presets, you can choose different curve types. S-curve makes the clip fast, slow, fast. Ease in is slow and then fast. Ease out is fast and then slow. And reverse time is fast, then slow, and then it reverses. That's exactly how I created the intro effect. One important note, you can copy and paste adjustment clips to reuse the effect, but if you need to make them shorter or longer, always adjust them from the right side. The adjustment clip must always start at frame 0. If you stretch it from the left, it will start at a negative frame number and the effect won't work correctly. Now, I've also received a lot of questions and even bad reviews saying the effect is slow and doesn't play back in real time. And yes, you are absolutely right, it is slow, but unfortunately that's just how the time stretcher node works, so don't blame me, blame the node or DaVinci. What I recommend is this: keep your retiming effects on a separate video track. While editing, simply disable that track to avoid lag. Then, right before rendering, enable it again. That way, you can work smoothly and still use high quality settings. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. I hope this answered all your questions. Leave a like, subscribe for more, check out my DaVinci Resolve Discord, and I'll see you on the next one.